I'm just so baffled that we need to talk about this. So Phantom Blade Zero just revealed their deep dive gameplay, and man, I have to say, this might actually be a Game of the Year contender. Yes, you heard it right, because when was the last time you saw this much creativity put into a game that is this well designed? And they have put so much depth into it. There are multiple combat patterns and different bosses that adapt the way you fight. And yes, Phantom Blade Zero's bosses can actually do that. And there are so many different weapons. And I actually heard there are around 55 different weapons you can master, with more than 30 being your main primary weapons and over 25 secondary weapons known as phantom edges, such as cannons, lances, axes, and hammers. To make it even better, they said that you can respec whenever you want and however you want. That means they're actually encouraging you to try different weapon setups for different kinds of bosses. I know there have been a lot of controversies and fake narratives going around about this game, with people calling it fake, or it just too good to be true, or this some shady Eastern game. But if you remember, people said the exact same things about Black Myth Wukong as well. But then what happened? The game sold over 10 million copies in just 5 days, and overall has sold over 30 million copies worldwide, and more or less everyone loved it. But with Phantom Blade Zero, 80% of the people didn't even believe that some of these scenes were actually real. Then, in the latest gameplay trailer, they actually showed how this isn't just some fake cinematic cutscene, but this is a real fight scene, and there's even a boss battle taking place on a running horse carriage, with both the MC and the boss fighting each other. I mean, this game is just so cool, man. But the drama with Phantom Blade Zero doesn't end there, because while the preview live stream was going on, Sony decided to leave the chat open, and everyone was spamming about physical discs. The chat was so cooked that even IGN reported on it, saying, "No disc, no buy" comments dominate Sony's Phantom Blade Zero State of Play live stream. And honestly, it's just a sad reality that Phantom Blade Zero got stuck in the crossfire. But that doesn't make the game bad at all. And this game is also coming out on Steam, so you can get it from there as well. Now, there is literally zero reason for me to glaze this game this hard, because I'm not getting anything from them. But the thing is, the people who have actually gotten to experience this game have emphasized over and over again that yes, this game is actually that good.
And while I was there, I met with the crew over at S-Game who's making this. And we talked, and they shared a little piece of information that blew my freaking mind. They shared with me that this game has been advertised, shown off with like tens or across all social media, hundreds of millions of views. It's gone viral multiple times in multiple different ways. And they told me just a few days ago, I'm not joking, that everything they have shown so far is side content. They apparently have not shown a single shot of main story gameplay. Everything they've shown is side content. Like, they haven't even shown you the main course, the entree, where most of like the creative effort goes. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, you heard it right. They haven't even shown us the full thing yet, and it's already looking this good. One of the biggest misconceptions about this game is that people think it's going to be another Souls-type game, but it's really not. Hear me out on this. Yes, I understand that the structure of the game, like the environment, touching the bell to save the game, boss fights, and soul collecting, might look somewhat similar, but when it comes to the actual controls, it is vastly different. It's honestly hard to explain, but it's a completely different experience from normal Souls-like gameplay, and that's actually what gives it such a unique vibe. When you first start the game, it might feel a little weird, which is something a lot of people experienced when they actually got to play the game at Summer Game Fest. But once you get the hang of it, you'll feel much better, and the combat becomes buttery smooth. In some cases, it can even feel better than Souls games. These games, especially the ones coming from non-Western studios, are able to make these games with a fraction of the money, and the games are wildly different in terms of visual representation, cultural dynamics, lore, and mythology. It just feels fresh. Meanwhile, a Western developer has to spend like $100 million on a decent game just to make something that feels like another game we've probably already played 1,000 times. And it's not like I'm calling any studio good or bad here. It's just that a lot of the really good games we're seeing are coming out of China, Japan, Korea, and other countries around the world. And everything really changed after the massive success of Black Myth Wukong, because when investors saw that, wait, we can make games that sell 10 million copies in 5 days, that's when we started seeing a massive flood of investment going into Chinese studios. And S-Game, the studio behind Phantom Blade Zero, is one of them. There are also many other games coming out, like Tides of Annihilation, which is another really interesting game that genuinely looks impossible when you look at its gameplay trailer. And even Wukong is getting a sequel that's scheduled to come out soon. And I will say it, in the future, some of the biggest games could very well be coming from these Eastern studios, and they might become giants in the gaming industry. And of course, that's going to be massive for gamers across the world, because you don't have to keep playing the same $60 slop. Instead, you can buy Phantom Blade Zero and actually enjoy something that feels fresh.